I'm really proud to participate for the next time or for the second time here in this Elite event. Actually, there are two main reasons why we float all the way from Denmark to Emirates in such event. The first reason is because we believe in the quote from Dr. Rashid that knowledge is power if shared and implemented. So we hereby here to share our best practice in terms of efficient combination of CSP and desalination. The second reason is that actually my red notebook I received from you last year is about to finish and I'm here to get a new one. So here I'm going to take you in a little tour how we can combine efficiently the concentrated solar power, CSP, which is the solar thermal, not the solar electric, to implement desalination projects. The energy outlook in UAE is quite similar to the one we have in Denmark, and it has been really very good to watch it and see how it's getting developed, not only by words but also by actions. And I really like the video you shared about the desalination, and there is no worries about water. That was a strong message. But here in this map, you can see this is the world map of water stress level by country. And apparently, most of the region is between medium to high level of stress levels. So we have to act about that. And since I'm coming from CSP, concentrated solar power background, so part of the tour is to show you why solar power. So if we look at this picture, this is assuming that this is the small boxes are the different resources reserves like the natural gas, coal. However, the biggest box is the solar energy received in a year. So, and it's kind of an abandoned resource, and it doesn't make sense that we abandon such resource and just ruin our environment with other resources. And secondly, in this map, assuming that the red box, the small one, the red square, is the demand of energy in EU. And the biggest one is for the world, and this is to scale. So actually, a small square of the one with EU in the Sahara city, for example, can cover the whole demand of energy. And the scale is really interesting. But the question is how to capture, store, and integrate. And this is what we are doing. And of course, there is no question about generating electricity from solar electric, PV. No questions, it's so efficient. But why we are promoting CSP, the concentrated solar power, or the solar thermal? Because with the heat or with the thermal energy, you can do a lot of things. So if we are looking here, we have solutions for all temperature ranges, from up to 80 degrees and more than 400 degrees with different technologies. And of course, with such technology or with such resource of power, you can utilize it to cover a lot of demands and to cover a lot of applications from dairy, factory, agriculture, food processing, etc., etc. And then if you are efficient enough to make an integrated solar energy, then you can also provide heat, steam, electricity, water desalination, district heating, and also cooling. So this is a conceptual layout to show our best practice in terms of how we combine the CSP for water desalination. The concept is very simple. We just collect the sun rays to our collectors, and the collectors are heating up the thermal fluid, which can be water, can be oil, can be molten salt, and then utilize this heat in terms of producing your application or your demand in steam or hot water or whatsoever. But because we are also innovating solutions, so we would like to show here, this is one of the hybrid systems. Of course, as I just said, no questions about that the PV is the best to produce electricity. And one of the technologies, there are two technologies of desalination that most used, reverse osmosis, RO, or the multiple effect distillation, or MED. So in this slide, you can see that the PV can be utilized to collect the sun rays and produce electricity to drive the RO. But here, you can only desalinate water during the daytime whenever you have sun is available, but there is no storage. And we all know that one of the killer factors in PV is the storage in terms of battery. Here comes the solar, the thermal solution, which here, this is also a layout with the technology of solar tower. And we are desalinating using the multiple effect distillation, which MED, it's called, or AKA thermal desalination. And this is also only during the time because there is no storage. But here, when we add a storage, then we can guarantee a 24/7 desalination. But to make a stronger combination and effective and more efficient, you can even make a hybrid systems of those. And here, you can even produce electricity, and then you don't have a waste, because the waste heat or the waste steam is condensated and then utilized to desalinate the water. Even better now, a lot of companies and a lot of developers are looking into the opportunity to merge between two types of technologies of desalination, the RO and the MED. And of course, it looks like this. So you heat up the solar field and you produce the steam drives the steam turbine, you have electricity, and the condensated steam doesn't go to waste or cooling water or cooling tower. You just utilize it to drive and operate the desalination part, desalination unit.